All right. Well, this is one of my spontaneous um, live sessions. I'm really good at doing those. um, what I will do, because some of you will be watching this after this is published, um, I'm going to let you know that I am looking at doing some new type of material on my channels. And quite possibly, that's going to start with um, kind of doing like my top 10, my favorite top 10 songs of certain bands or something along those lines. So, what I am looking for is input as far as what you would like to see in regards to something like that. That will, I mean, you can always post in the comments under this video when it is published. That way, you don't have to have been here for the live session where um, a lot of people may not see it just because I just did this spontaneously. But it's an idea that I want to work on. So um, I'm just looking right now at some lists of songs from one of my favorite bands. I'm going to definitely start with my favorite bands. And if I do a top 10, I want to choose the right ones, and it's not always going to be necessarily the top 10 favorite songs that or most popular songs that that band has. It's going to be my personal favorite. And I would imagine certain songs may be popular songs. But I know in a couple of bands that I'm thinking about doing this for, there's going to be some obscure songs that really have touched me, my soul, in a way that makes it a favorite. So um, I have one who has joined. I appreciate you. I think I know who it is, but and, let's see. Let's get a list. We'll see if I can do this. I think one of the best ways for me to do this is just kind of sit back and relax and maybe even take in some ideas from you guys. Most definitely. Um, I know two for sure. I'm gonna do at some point, hopefully sooner than later. Is my top 10 favorite Rush songs, my top 10 favorite Sabotage songs. Those two I can feel fairly comfortable with doing. I may even add Led Zeppelin in there as well and see how this goes for you guys. So, yeah, that's definitely, huh? Okay. So, I'm going to start taking some notes. Hello. Hello, my visitors. How do you do? So, why don't you go ahead and in the chat let me know who you are, where you're from? Those of you who come to visit, please definitely let me know where you're from. Yeah, so right now I'm looking at Sabotage. I don't remember all the names of all the songs. So I'm getting the track listing for each album, and I know the songs. So I'm choosing a list of them, and then, of course, gonna kind of listen to them. And from that list, I'm gonna extrapolate the top 10. Hello, how do you do? Tell me where you're from. Let me know what's going on, and I will let you know what's going on here. I know it's kind of boring. Nobody's joining in right now. Hmm. Oh, okay. So now I'm getting to Hall of the Mountain King. There's a lot of good ones on there. Oh boy. I may have to do some honorary mentions because I don't want one or two albums to dominate the list. Mm, 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 mm. Yada da da dum ba da da. Yeah. Oh yeah. And now I'm looking at Streets. Oh my goodness. I could probably go with the entire album on that one. And there's actually those bonus songs too. So, what would I pick? What would I pick off of that album to make the list? Oh my goodness. Yeah. Well, the list is going to be comprised of my favorites. And like I said, it's not always going to be the most famous songs, and it's not going to may not be the most popular picks, but that's okay because it's about what I enjoy. And oh, there's a lot of good ones on that one. A lot of good ones on their later albums. I'm telling you. Yes, sir. This is going to be a tough one. Now I'm on Edge of Thorns. I love that album as well. So some of this is going to be based upon maybe certain parts of songs that really stand out for me. Some of it's going to be based on maybe it was an emotional connection at some point when I first heard the song. You know, those formative moments in life often have the most attachment. And with songs, it can be the whole song or it can be parts of songs. So with Sabotage, very interesting, very interesting beast. Um, the band is for me, especially because Chris was and always will be in my mind one of the greatest guitarists to ever have lived. Not only his technical prowess, but his compositional skills, the way he textured and flavored things, layered all these different dynamics and different phrasings. So to pick my top 10, that's gonna be it's gonna be difficult. But then of course they had two amazing vocalists, right? So John and then of course Zach. You have the different eras of Sabotage, the really, really early stuff. Didn't really endear itself to me all that much. There were some songs that like, yeah, if I listen to maybe the first album or two, I'll just kind of gloss over it. But there's a couple of songs for sure that I would want to hear. Those would definitely make the list. Um, and then the post Chris era. You got some really good guitarists. Right now, I'm looking at "Handful of Rain," where Alex Skolnick from Testament joined the band for that album. Um, he did a wonderful job, but definitely was a change. And I don't know which one I would choose off of that. That's the first one. That's the first album where they started doing those little a cappella breaks. I don't know, breaks, but they had started adding those a cappella-ish sections to songs. And it was really cool hearing Chance for the first time because that was totally unexpected. Um, but I don't know if that one is going to make my list. I have another one on that album that I really, really like. All right, Dead Winter Dead. So now we have these story albums, much like Streets was. That's a very interesting one because that also has the song Christmas Eve Sarajevo 1224, which was co-released as Trans-Siberian Orchestra as well. So that was the time when Trans-Siberian Orchestra basically came into existence. Uh, Probably going to have to go with the title track off of that album. Or I could change this into a my favorite song off of each album. That might even be better. Yeah. Yep, 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 yep. Because we have a new album coming out soon, don't we, folks? There is. And it's going to be very difficult to, now that I have a list, it's going to be very difficult to order them. Um, so that's something that I'm going to have to. I'm going to have to spend some time thinking about. You know what I mean? Um, okay, so if you are a Sabotage fan, why don't you tell me what you think is your favorite Sabotage song? Mm. All right, let's do this differently now. Yada, da, da.